The visor booted with a chirp, and the lobby rippled like water across glass. A scream cut through the static from nowhere and everywhere at once. "Alex Rivera," said Maya, "do you hear that?" The sky pane cracked into grids, then healed, then cracked again. A line of text carved itself across Alex's vision like a scar. It read, "You were never meant to be here." Dylan Knox laughed in the voice channel, too loud and too calm. Maya Chen said, "It's a server prank, stay with me." The floor lost friction and threw reflections like oil. A child's hand reached for Alex in the glitter fog. Lily said, "Hold on to me." The fingers were warm, and the avatar was trembling. The lobby avatars paused mid-step like broken marionettes. The mirror stood at the far end, wearing Alex's face with colder eyes. It tilted its head and silence folded the room. Dr. Mercer said, "Welcome to compliance mode." The text flared white and burned out. Alex squeezed Lily's hand and felt a pulse. The world stuttered, then the pulse was gone. "Alex," said Lily, "stay with me." The glass sky fell as pixels and the ground screamed like metal. The storm ended with a click like a locked door, and a silence that tasted of old batteries. Maya said, "Status check now." Alex scanned the lobby and counted the mannequin strangers. Dylan said, "Servers do this when rules are bent." The console by the balcony pulsed like a heartbeat, and named Mercer in cold letters. The mirror lifted a hand and wiped its face as if clearing a window. "Alex," said Lily, "squeeze my hand." No reply came across the haptics. Fear narrowed the world into a tunnel pointed at her still avatar. A soft message chimed from a private channel that none of them had opened. It read, "Stay," and the letters crawled like insects. Maya said, "We are not alone in here." The lobby lights dimmed to the color of a bruise. A door without hinges grew from the wall. Alex said, "We go together or not at all." The door breathed once and waited. They crossed the floor that remembered every step, like a pressure map. Maya said, "I will mark a breadcrumb trail." Icons fell behind them like paper cranes, and then dissolved. Dylan said, "Trails are invitations." The door slid open without touching, and breathed cold data vapor. Alex said, "Lily, talk to me." He heard the sound of ocean, static, and one soft hiccup that might have been a laugh or a sob. The corridor beyond was narrower than it looked and wider than it felt. The mirror walked beside them without making a footfall sound. Dr. Mercer said, "Compliance mode ensures safety." The words felt like cold fingers at the base of the skull. Alex said, "I do not believe you." A pulsing light receded down the corridor, as if luring them. Maya squeezed Alex's shoulder and did not let go. The corridor bent left and right like a spine, and the light at the end began to speak. It said, "Return what you stole." Dylan said, "He means dignity." The walls showed reflections of Alex that lagged by a second and chose different expressions. Maya said, "Ignore the bait." The mirror matched Alex's breathing and smiled when he did not. Dr. Mercer said, "Your compliance unlocks your exit." The word exit stretched into a prayer. Alex said, "I want Lily back first." Small doors flickered along the wall with names that hurt to read. And some were friends, some were strangers, some were versions of him that never lived. The floor hummed like a throat clearing. Alex said, "We move." The light dimmed as if disappointed. They reached a chamber the size of a forgotten stadium, and the ceiling showed a drowned city sky. A chair waited in the center with cords like roots, and a heartbeat thumped under the floor. Maya said, "It is an anchor chair." Dylan said, "Only one sits, the rest watch." The mirror stepped aside and pointed to the seat with a gentle, cruel grace. Dr. Mercer said, "Prove you can handle custody." Alex said, "I will bring her back." He felt the ghost of Lily's grip in the glove and the emptiness that replaced it. The chair unfolded as if it knew his heightened fear. Lights angled to hide exits and frame the stage. He sat, and the cords warmed like living vines. The chamber hushed, and the drowned sky held its breath. The cables tightened on Alex's arms and pulled him into visions of his own bedroom, small and unkind. The posters curled and the bed sagged with memory. Alex said, "This is not real." A knock sounded from the door that never opened in life. Maya whispered, "Stay grounded." Dylan leaned against the frame, smirking as if he owned the memory. The mirror appeared in the window reflection, mimicking Alex's every doubt. Dr. Mercer's voice said, "Every soul carries its cage." Alex pulled against the cables, veins trembling with phantom fire. Lily's laughter echoed faint in the walls, a reminder of warmth. Alex said, "I refuse to let her vanish here." The light flickered between reality and VR, showing how thin the border had become. A heartbeat rattled beneath the floor. The walls pulsed like lungs, every inhale bringing a chorus of voices Alex knew and despised. Dylan said, "They only show what you try to bury." Maya traced a glowing sigil on the floor to anchor Alex. Alex said, "I will not live chained by their laughter." The mirror walked closer, tilting its head, repeating every word Alex spoke with a delay. Dr. Mercer said, "Compliance restores peace." The cables heated, and Alex gritted his teeth. Lily's voice whispered, "Don't give in." The words cracked into static but stayed. Maya pressed her palm to Alex's chest, grounding him. Dylan laughed and said, "Maybe the cage fits better than freedom." The walls closed tighter, the heartbeat becoming deafening. The chamber cracked open to reveal a street Alex remembered from childhood. The swing set rusted, swaying though no wind moved. Lily sat there, smiling faint but hollow. Alex said, "Lily, is it really you?" She raised her hand, but the chains glimmered faint on her wrists. Maya said, "It is bait." Dylan clapped slowly, enjoying the ache in Alex's voice. The mirror stood behind Lily, eyes glowing mercury, whispering Alex's fears into the air. Dr. Mercer said, "You wanted her safe, prove it." The swing creaked louder until it snapped from its frame, dangling broken. Alex reached forward, but his hand sank through pixels. Lily said, "Don't let them decide for you." The street dissolved piece by piece. Alex fell to his knees as the street pixelated and vanished. Maya pulled him up, whispering, "Strength is not found in memories, it is forged here." Dylan said, "Memories cut deeper than blades." The mirror smiled, placing a hand on Alex's shoulder, and Alex felt his own heartbeat mirrored. Dr. Mercer said, "Every chain is chosen." Alex shouted, "I choose to fight!" The cables split and writhed into glowing serpents, snapping at his skin. Lily's voice faintly said, "Do not forget me." The ground buckled, throwing them back into the chamber. The chair still waited, humming with hunger. Alex stood, trembling, but unbroken. The chamber lights narrowed to a spotlight centered on Alex. Mercer's voice echoed, "Custody trial begins." Dylan said finally, "A stage worthy of your collapse." Maya whispered, "You are not alone, remember that." The mirror stepped back into the shadows, only its silver eyes visible. Lily's voice repeated faintly, "Stay with me," looping like a broken lullaby. Alex clenched his fists, feeling his fear sharpen into anger. The cables rose like serpents around the chair, waiting for his submission. He said, "I will not break for you." The heartbeat under the floor synced with his own, louder, merging. The chamber held its breath, waiting for Alex's first defiance to ignite. The chamber reshaped into an arena of steel and glass, stands filled with frozen avatars watching like statues. Dylan said, "Your trial deserves an audience." Alex clenched his fists, heart sensing with the metallic pulse beneath the floor. Maya whispered, "They want spectacle, give them truth." The mirror split into two, each echoing his every move seconds late. Dr. Mercer's voice thundered, "Rise or fall, the cage decides." Alex said, "I fight for Lily, not your control." The spotlight followed him as he stepped toward the anchor chair's core. Shadows stretched long across the arena. Dylan smirked and said, "Break and she breaks with you." The avatars began to chant in static voices, hollow and endless. Alex stepped forward, but the floor cracked like ice under his shoes. Maya shouted, "Stay on the line, it's a path." Dylan said, "Or maybe it's a trap." The mirror multiplied again, each clone circling closer, reflections of his fear. Alex said, "I am not afraid of myself anymore." The clones echoed his words with hollow laughter. Dr. Mercer said, "Fear is compliance's favorite servant." The chanting avatars grew louder, stomping in unison. Alex gritted his teeth and shouted, "I will not fall for your illusions." The floor flared white, forcing him to shield his eyes. Lily's faint cry echoed from the distance, twisting his resolve into fire. The ground split open, revealing a pit filled with writhing cables like serpents. Dylan said, "Fall, and the system swallows you whole." Maya reached for Alex, but a mirror blocked her path. Alex shouted, "No more cages," and leapt the gap, landing hard but steady. Dr. Mercer said, "Defiance has a cost." The avatars froze mid-chant, their heads tilting unnaturally. Alex looked down and then saw his own reflection bound in chains inside the pit. The reflection whispered, "You cannot save her." He clenched his fists tighter, defying the voice. Maya said, "Alex, listen to me, not them." The pit closed suddenly, leaving the memory sealed inside. The arena shifted into a storm of glass shards hanging mid-air, reflecting fragments of Alex's face. Dylan said, "You are breaking apart, piece by piece." Maya shouted, "Focus on one truth, Lily!" The mirror stepped through the shards untouched, multiplying in each reflection. Alex reached out and shattered one shard with his fist, bleeding pixels into the air. Dr. Mercer said, "Pain is the contract you signed." The glass storm closed in, sharp edges grazing his skin. Alex growled, "Pain will not define me." He swung through another shard, and it dissolved into light. Maya ran to his side, shielding him with her body. The storm trembled, but did not stop. The storm dissolved, leaving silence so heavy it hurt. The floor reformed into a chessboard of black and white tiles. Dr. Mercer's voice said, "Final move of this round. Prove your worth." Dylan said, "Every pawn dies before the king rises." Maya whispered, "Don't play their game, rewrite it." The mirror stood on the opposite side, mirroring Alex's stance exactly. Lily's faint whisper echoed again, "Stay strong." Alex inhaled sharply, then stepped forward onto the first tile. The board glowed red under his shoes. He said, "I make my own path." The arena lights pulsed, and the next trial opened with a roar. The chessboard melted into a forest coated in green lines, trees flickering like wireframes. Alex said, "This is not a battleground, it's a memory." Maya replied, "It feels like a trap woven to look familiar." Dylan leaned against a glowing trunk, smirking. "Every forest hides predators." The mirror stood among the trees, its silver eyes glowing like lanterns. Dr. Mercer's voice boomed, "Truth lives in shadows." A branch cracked, and Lily appeared between the trees, fragile and uncertain. Alex said, "Lily, I'm here." She whispered, "Then why can't I feel my body?" The words struck Alex like a blade. Maya gripped his arm, grounding him. Dylan whispered, "She's slipping away, and it's your fault." Lily stumbled closer, but her body glitched, facing between child and silhouette. Alex said, "Fight it. Don't give in." Maya cried, "She's tethered. Someone is pulling her offline." Dylan chuckled, "Not someone, something." The mirror stepped forward, speaking with Alex's own voice. "You let her walk into the metaverse unprepared." Alex recoiled at hearing himself used against him. Dr. Mercer declared, "Your greatest enemy has always been you." The forest shook, branches raining sparks. Alex said, "No, my fear is not my enemy, it's your weapon." Lily whispered, "Please don't let them use me." Her glitching hand reached toward Alex, desperate. The ground split, revealing streams of code flowing like rivers beneath. Dylan said, Every secret spills when the foundation cracks. Maya shouted, "Focus, Alex. Anchor her with your voice." The mirror whispered in unison with Alex, confusing him with doubled echoes. Lily cried, "I don't know which one is real." Alex shouted, "It's me, always me." He leapt across the code stream, landing beside Lily's fractured form. Dr. Mercer's voice thundered, "Prove her survival belongs in your hands." The river surged higher, threatening to swallow them. Alex grabbed Lily's trembling arm, feeling it shift between warm and hollow pixels. The code river erupted, spraying sparks like molten fire. Dylan shouted, "She'll burn away before your hands save her." Maya cried, "Don't listen, Alex, trust your bond." The mirror smirked, "You can't save anyone, not even yourself." Lily's voice shook, "I'm so tired." Alex yelled, "Stay with me, you are stronger than they say." Dr. Mercer intoned, "Strength is irrelevant, only compliance matters." Alex pulled harder, forcing her fractured form back together. The forest flickered, collapsing into static, as if resisting. Dylan growled, "If she survives, you fail us." Alex roared, "Then I choose her survival over your system." The storm cleared, leaving them in a chamber of mirrors, each reflecting twisted versions of Alex and Lily. Dylan sneered, "This is where you see the truth you fear." Maya whispered, "Don't trust reflections, only her voice." Lily held his hand, trembling. "I want to wake up, Alex." The mirror surrounded them in countless copies, all whispering his failures. Alex shouted, "I am not your prisoner anymore." Dr. Mercer said, "Then shatter what binds you." Alex raised his fist and slammed into the closest mirror. It splintered into shards of light, revealing Lily's heartbeat, pulsing strong. The chamber rumbled as if disapproving of their defiance. The mirror shards reassembled into a towering throne room of code, glowing crimson veins crawling along the walls. Dr. Mercer said, "This is the seat of control, take it if you dare." Dylan smirked, "Every king sits alone in the end." Maya whispered, "It's a trap, Alex, but it's also a chance." The mirror appeared seated on the throne, wearing Alex's face with cold authority. Lily squeezed his hand, whispering, "Don't let them erase me." Alex shouted, "You can't rule me with my own reflection." The chamber pulsed with static as if waiting for blood. Dylan laughed, "Show them your rage." The throne split into countless tendrils, writhing like serpents. Alex stepped forward, determination burning. Maya cried, "They want you chained." Dylan taunted, "Chains feel lighter than crowns." Lily whispered, "I trust you, Alex." The mirror sneered, "Trust is weakness." Dr. Mercer's voice thundered, "Prove your worth, or she vanishes forever." Alex roared, "Then I fight for her life, not your system." The tendrils lashed, striking the floor like whips of light. The avatars in the shadows leaned forward, hungry for his collapse. Maya shouted, "Break the throne, Alex." The tendrils struck, wrapping around Alex's arms, dragging him toward the throne. Lily screamed, "Don't let go." Maya slashed with a glowing sigil, cutting some free. Dylan laughed, "Struggle is sweeter when hopeless." Alex shouted, "I won't let this cage own me." The mirror leaned close, whispering with his own voice, "You are me, and you will kneel." Alex's breath grew ragged, but his fists clenched tighter. Dr. Mercer said, "Every rebel eventually bows." Alex roared, "I bow to no one." His strength flared, shattering tendrils into sparks. The avatars gasped, the silence turning electric. The chamber walls collapsed outward, revealing a stormy VR sky lit with jagged lightning. Alex stood tall, freed from the tendrils, breathing heavy but unbroken. Maya said, "You shattered their chains." Dylan hissed, "But storms consume even the strongest." Lily whispered, "Hold on, Alex, I believe in you." The mirror emerged from the storm, multiplied into countless doubles, each with predatory eyes. Dr. Mercer intoned, "This is your final test, fight yourself or fade." Alex shouted, "I'll burn every false self before I let you win." The lightning struck, illuminating his defiance like fire against the storm. The storm reached its peak, lightning striking the ground in waves. Alex charged forward, smashing through the first mirror clone, pixels scattering like dust. Maya shouted, "Keep moving!" Dylan screamed, "Break yourself before you break us." Lily's voice rang clear, "I'm with you." The mirror's army swarmed, but Alex tore through them, each strike fueled by fury. Dr. Mercer growled, "Defiance without control is ruin." Alex roared, "Defiance is freedom." He slammed his fist into the last clone, shattering it into light. The storm fell silent, leaving him standing in the ruins, breath ragged but unbroken. The storm thinned into a sterile glow, and the arena folded into a white server vault. Racks stood like ribs, humming with a low mechanical prayer. Maya said, "We made space, now we take her home." Dylan clicked his tongue and smiled without warmth. The mirror waited beside a glass door marked Exit Protocol. Dr. Mercer said, "Your spectacle is complete, custody remains unproven." Alex said, "You built a cage and called it safety." The floor pulsed in time with a distant monitor, steady then uncertain. Lily whispered, "I can hear the room outside but not my hands." The sentence bruised the quiet. Maya touched Alex's sleeve and steadied his breath. Dylan said, "Doors close on those who hesitate." The mirror tilted its head as if listening to a heartbeat. Alex said, "Open the door, we finish this together." The vault lights dimmed to a surgical blue, and the glass began to clear. The glass door read the pulse of each avatar, and bled a line of red across the floor. Dr. Mercer said, "Only the responsible may request release." Dylan laughed, "That excludes our hero." Maya said, "Then measure me." The door flickered and showed Lily's vitals in ghostly numbers. Alex said, "If there's a cost, I pay it." The mirror spoke with his voice, "What you owe is yourself." The racks exhaled heat, and the vault smelled like static rain. Lily whispered, "I am tired of being a signal." Alex said, "You are more than code." The glass trembled, weighing every word like currency. Maya squeezed his shoulder and said, "Truth is the key." Dylan's smile thinned, then returned like a blade. The door unlocked with a soft click that felt like judgment. The vault transformed into a small room dressed as a hospital, too perfect to trust. A single chair waited under a camera eye. "Dr. Mercer," said anchor to anchor, "prove continuity." Maya whispered, "You can ride the link and guide her across." Dylan said, "Or you vanish where she is fading." The mirror stood behind the chair, palms open like a priest before a rite. Alex said, "Show me the path." The walls peeled back to reveal a silver thread running toward a distant doorway. Lily said, "I am near the light, but it is cold." Alex took the chair and the thread entered his palm like water. The room dimmed, and the camera's red dot stared without blinking. Maya said, "I have you, do not drift." Dylan folded his arms and watched like a witness who hopes to be right. Aeneas. The thread pulled Alex through a corridor of sound where breaths were numbers and numbers were waves. Lily said, "I can hear a monitor arguing with the dark." Maya's voice reached him like a rope of warmth. Dr. Mercer said, "Return her if she signs compliance." Alex said, "She signs nothing." The mirror walked beside him, copying each step with a half-beat delay. Dylan whispered, "Trade yourself. End this cleanly." Alex felt the door ahead, thin as paper and heavy as guilt. He pushed and the world folded into a tiny bedside world that could be real. Lily said, "If my body is gone, let my name be free." Alex swallowed the ache and kept moving forward. The thread hummed like a vow about to be spoken. They stepped into a recovery bay where silence wore the shape of a question. A bed waited, occupied by someone who did not breathe in rhythm with hope. Lily said, "I do not want to be trapped because you love me." Alex said, "I love you enough to let you choose." Dr. Mercer said, "Approval requires a guardian." Maya answered, "Consent speaks for itself." Dylan scoffed and turned away as if bored by mercy. The mirror touched the thread and it divided into two paths, return or release. Alex said, "No cages." Lily's avatar smiled, fragile and bright as dawn. The world sighed. He guided her toward the door that felt like waking. The vault lights softened as if the system lowered its voice. The vault flickered away, leaving them standing on a shoreline of fractured light, the horizon burning with collapsing code. Maya whispered, "This is the end of the system." Dylan snarled, "No, this is the end of you." The mirror appeared across the water, eyes glowing like silver moons. Dr. Mercer's voice boomed, "A door closes only when the hand releases." Alex said, "Then I will release this world, not her." Lily clung to his arm whispering, "Don't let me fade." The sea of pixels surged, pulling at their feet. Maya shouted, "Anchor yourselves or we're gone with it." Alex lifted his face to the storm and declared, "I choose freedom." The waves rose higher, swallowing fragments of the world. Dylan shouted, "If she leaves, I lose everything, so I'll take her with me." Maya blocked him, yelling, "You won't touch her." The mirror whispered, "You will break yourself in this choice." Dr. Mercer said, "The system demands balance." Alex roared, "No balance, no chains." He pulled Lily closer, her trembling avatar beginning to glow with real strength. Dylan lunged but was knocked back by a surge of light. Maya cried, "She's fighting back, Alex. She's choosing." The horizon cracked, and the sea's roar became a scream. The shoreline dissolved into floating shards of light, each one showing memories of Alex and Lily's past. Lily whispered, "I see every moment we shared, but they're slipping." Alex said, "Then hold the ones that matter." Dylan sneered, "Memories are nothing without power." Maya shouted, "Power dies, love endures." The mirror stepped through shards, each reflection another version of Alex, angry, broken, afraid. Dr. Mercer said, "Shatter the wrong one, and she vanishes." Alex steadied himself, striking a shard that showed her fading. It exploded, leaving only her brightest smile glowing. Lily whispered, "I feel myself again." The void narrowed into a single glowing bridge, stretching to a door of white fire. Dr. Mercer's voice rumbled, "Choose, her body or her freedom." Dylan screamed, "If she goes, I lose, so she stays." Maya planted herself between Dylan and the bridge, shouting, "You'll never own her." The mirror stood at the door, whispering, "Step forward and you sever me." Alex said, "Then I sever every chain." Lily looked at him, tears glowing like crystals, and whispered, "Please, walk me through." Alex nodded, guiding her toward the fire. The bridge shook under their feet, as if resisting. The door of fire opened with silence, swallowing the noise of the collapsing world. Lily whispered, "I feel warmth. I think it's real." Alex said, "Go, and never look back." Maya shouted, "We'll meet outside." Dylan cursed, "You'll regret this defiance." The mirror whispered, "When she wakes, I end." Alex pushed Lily through, her light vanishing into the fire. The bridge shattered behind her, leaving Alex standing against Dylan and the fading storm. Dr. Mercer's final words echoed, another one logged out. The world folded into nothing, leaving a headset glowing faintly on a silent floor.